Hey, digital insurance brokers, welcome to this new episode. And let me ask you this. Have you ever wanted to start a lead gen strategy for your insurance brokerage business? And you thought that you didn't have the tools to begin that strategy? If that thought has already crossed your mind, give us a like in this episode, and don't worry, because I'm going to go over absolutely everything that you need to set several digital marketing strategies to generate leads for your business. Now, this takes me to the first topic, which is the difference between tools that are going to help you reach your goal, which is sell insurance, versus the execution tools. So let's talk a little bit here about the very important keyword, which is goal. If you've seen videos in this channel before, you know that I like to say that you have to start with the end in mind, and the end is your goal. So be it small or big, it needs to be a SMART goal. So it needs to be specific, measurable, it needs to be achievable, it needs to be defined within a time bound. In other words, a proper goal would be, I want to sell 5 life insurances in the next 30 days. And then, only then, you start to think about the digital marketing strategies that are going to help you achieve that goal. Now, you probably also heard me talk about Google, Facebook, YouTube as being tools to help you reach that goal. And that's the important aspect here. That's correct. You're going to use Facebook to generate leads that are going to eventually turn into policies. You're going to use Google to capture leads, drive them to a landing page, and then get those leads into a sales journey that are going to that eventually are going to become clients. Now, it is completely different from looking at those media opportunities, the media channels like Google, YouTube, and Facebook as tools to help you reach the goals. When you look at tools that you need in your tool set to implement the strategies, right? So this is what this episode is all about. It's not about the strategies, but the tools that you need to execute the strategies. And then when you execute the strategies, they take you to the end result, right? So having that said, I set the baseline here for us to begin. And I'm going to go into a logic order. The order starts with the one thing that you absolutely need, down to things that are nice to have. Now, the first thing that you absolutely need is a domain name. So that is what is in between www. and that's your domain name, then .com. So you absolutely need that if you want to generate leads in the web environment using Google, using YouTube, or even doing more strategies within Facebook and Instagram or LinkedIn that have a higher return on investment. So you need a domain name to host your website, your landing pages. So how do you pick a domain name? Well, there are multiple companies that help you set up your domain name. And the one that we use here is GoDaddy. So they're affordable, very easy to use. You can they give you suggestions on names that you might want to go and get. And there's another one from Google Domains. They also help you with setting up a domain. So what you want to do is just pick one of the many companies that there are out there. Pick a name, and let me give you a few tips on domain names. If you are a life planner, if you are a single person, a broker, and you don't have a company behind you, then that's okay if you just use your name, and you're going to be tying your business to your person. So that's fine. Just get your first name, last name, or something in between. You're going to be good. It's going to be www.yourname.com. That's fine. If you have a business that has a name, then obviously you can use that. The only thing that could hurt your performance is if you pick a domain name that is weird or odd, and then yes, or difficult to type, then yes, that could hurt your performance. Otherwise, there's no relation between using your name, using your company name, maybe your initials, or insurance broker, and some sort of mix between your name and that term. So you're going to be good there. Pick one, go to GoDaddy, check the availability, and then when you finish setting up and paying, then the domain, the name register, those companies, they're going to ask for the domain name server. And this is what links your domain to your hosting provider. That's the second thing that you need. Once you have a domain name, you need that traffic to go to a computer. And that computer is going to show a web page to whoever is visiting your domain. So what you need to do is pick a company that is going to rent a piece of a computer so you can load your website and your landing pages in them. Companies like Bluehost and HostGator, they offer services, and they're extremely affordable, that can get you started really, really quick. So we use Bluehost for internally here. So if you want a suggestion, that's what I recommend, just because that's what we use. But HostGator, I've heard good things about them, and they're going to be more than enough for all your needs. Now, if you want like pro level, enterprise level hosting, of course that you can go to Amazon. They host Netflix, they host all major enterprises. So Amazon has services that can allow you to scale your business as more traffic, as you get more traffic. Now, I don't think that you ever need that size. You're going to be good with Bluehost, HostGator. Now, when you pick a plan, and again, I think that you can start with the entry-level plans. When you pick a plan, they are going to give you a DNS address, domain name server address. Now you copy that DNS and you insert that into your domain registration. And that's what creates a link, so that when someone types your domain name in the web browser, or you get traffic from ads, that traffic is going to be routed to the hosting server that has your information. Once you have that, then you need to load a website or a landing page to your hosting provider. And that takes us to item 5 here, which is the site. Now, you know that I am an advocate that you don't need a full-blown site with multiple pages. I think that for a insurance brokerage business, you're going to be well with just a single page that has your contact information, the insurance companies that you work with, why people should work with you, so give a little bit of authority, and ways for clients to contact you. So that is something that is easily accomplished with a suite of softwares like WordPress. So let me explain what that is. WordPress is a content management system. So imagine that you want to write a letter. The software that you're likely going to use is going to be Microsoft Word. So you install Word in your computer, and then you open that application, and then you type a letter. It is the same thing with WordPress. WordPress is a type of software that you install in the hosting provider, in that piece of computer that you rented, and that is going to allow you to create a website. Now, and Bluehost, HostGator, they all make it easy for you to install WordPress. Most of them have what they call one-click installs. So it's literally one click that is going to get you a WordPress site in your server. Once you have that, you could start to customize your website. However, there are plugins that make the customization and website building and page building process a lot simpler. And one of those plugins is called Elementor. So after you have your WordPress set up, make sure that you install this plugin. They do have a free tier that you can use, probably going to be more than enough for your needs. So you get Elementor there. And Elementor is really a drag and drop, one-click type of landing page builder, web page builder that is going to make your learning curve a lot easier. So Elementor is going to help you with that. And then WordPress allows you to install themes, and those themes, they allow you to import pre-built websites. So Astra is one that I recommend that you get. Astra is also free. You can import many pre-built free websites, and then you just change the content. So with that, you're going to have a domain name, you're going to have a hosting provider and a website. You're going to be good for most of your web lead generation strategies. However, if you're completely new to the web, chances are that you will need to either look at YouTube tutorials, and there are plenty that are very good to show you how to install WordPress, Elementor, and Astra. But if you don't want to go through the learning curve, and if you get that set up, there's no cost. They're all free. But if you don't want to go through the learning curve, there are paid alternatives that are going to remove that learning curve, just because it's a lot simpler to get your website up and running with page builders like Wix, Google Sites. However, there's going to be some cost involved with that. So I think that this is where you need to think about the trade-off if you want to invest your time and save, or you want to go to a pro type page builder that is going to give you ready-made templates, and then you don't have to learn anything. My recommendation would be learn WordPress, Elementor, and Astra. The learning curve is not that steep, but it's worth, because then you're going to be building landing pages with that configuration. And that takes us to item 6 here. So landing pages, unlikely websites, they have only one purpose, which is to convert traffic, more specifically paid traffic from ads, to leads. So all you need is a little bit of text, and that text needs to match the campaign that you're doing. So you're doing a campaign for life insurance, you have a landing page for life insurance, a form, you add contact information, and that's pretty much it. So you can do that very easily with WordPress and Elementor. So that's why I mentioned, if you learn WordPress and Elementor, just basics, and again, it's pretty much like learning Excel or Word. It has a good interface, it's intuitive, so it's worth it. Once you learn that, you will be able to do all the landing pages that you need to execute the lead gen marketing strategies that you're going to be doing. Now, again, if you don't want to go to the learning curve, you can use paid alternatives like Unbounce. Unbounce is a landing page builder that was essentially made for it. The only thing it does is building landing pages. So you can do that. Again, there's a little bit of a cost, but then it's easier to get it out of the door.
Well, then you might want, well, once you get to this point here, which is item 6, you're pretty much set, and you can create Google campaigns right away. However, if you want to go an extra mile, you might want to consider adding something called a CDN to your website. CDN is a content delivery network, and the thing is, if you picked your hosting provider, let's say Bluehost, you will not know where that computer is located. You could be located in Europe, and the computer that you got is located in the US, or they could have assigned you to a computer that is located in Washington, and you're in North Dakota. That distance between where your users, because you have a local business, so that distance between where your users are and where your server is could generate lag, and that lag could mean a slower website. And we're talking here about milliseconds, so it is not a big deal. Like I said, if you want to go to the extra mile, then you add a CDN to your website. A CDN is going to distribute your website from local servers. So they have multiple servers in multiple locations, in multiple geographies, and your site, instead of being served from Bluehost, is going to be served from a copy of your website is going to be served from one of their local servers. That is, so the benefit is going to be faster loading websites. The other benefit is enhanced security. I have never heard about a insurance broker website being hacked. It could happen. The likelihood is low, so the benefit here is not as big as having a faster website. Now, CDN will also give you a more secure website, less prone to hacking. So Cloudflare is the option that I would recommend, the one we use here. It easily integrates with WordPress and has a pretty good free tier that allows you to test and get your website all of those benefits. Now we're coming down to item 8 here, and my favorite every time that I talk to a insurance broker, I cannot emphasize the importance of list building. Every business should put maximum focus on building lists. If you want to succeed with digital marketing, this is the key. You need your list. So let's talk about what a list is. A list is a database with names and email addresses. Essentially that. You could add a phone number, you could add more, but that if you have someone's name and email, you can start to communicate and maintain a relationship regardless of paid advertising and social media rules and algorithms. It is yours. If you want to reach, if you want to make an offer to your list, you can. So that should be your priority, building a list. And the way you build a list is through getting people's information in exchange of something. So you could host a webinar, a masterclass, you could give away a lead magnet like an ebook, an infographic, a cheat sheet. All of those things are going to build a list for you. And once you have a list, you can make offers. So in order to have a list, you need an email marketing platform. And MailChimp is probably the one you should be looking at. It has a pretty good free tier that is going to work regardless of the time that you stayed. So I think it's based on number of contacts that you have. So I think that you should be with MailChimp right away. You start your email marketing campaigns. You start getting your leads. You start storing them since the beginning of your first strategy. The reason is you might not sell a policy to the first leads you get. But if you store that information in your list, you can continue to maintain that relationship, and eventually that lead will become your client. All right, so MailChimp, definitely one. However, the one we use here is ActiveCampaign, simply because it's a matter of preference. This goes back to which one you feel most comfortable with. And we found that ActiveCampaign works better for our needs. So you have two options there. I think that my recommendation for insurance brokers is going to be MailChimp. Okay. Now, with management and organization, if you've done everything and you set up your accounts up until this point, you're ready to launch your first campaign, and that is going to require tasks. You will need to break your strategy into tasks in order to execute them. So that's when a Trello comes handy for you. You're going to be able to add all of the activities that you need to do creatives, research keywords, everything that you need to do, assign dates, and then mark them as complete. So it gives you a very good organization blueprint for you to get your campaigns out. Highly recommend that you get this. And if you have freelancers, if you have a marketing assistant, if you have someone that helps you with your marketing activities, then you might want to consider a internal communications tool like Slack. Email is not really even a match, even compared to the communication capabilities that you get with Slack. You can create channels, create topics. So if you work by yourself, then you don't need that. But if you have even one team member, Slack would be a good way to go. With that, you're now ready to start creating ads. And when you start to create ads for social networks, they will be graphic, they will be image based. So you will need an image editing tool and a place to create images. So I'm giving you 4 examples here. Canva, phenomenal application, has templates, huge image bank that you can just click and grab images to your ads, and will give you a freedom and image editing. You can increase contrast on images to make them pop and stop the scroll. Very good tool to check it out. Then of course, Adobe Spark. Adobe, they're a major company in the image editing environment. They're just coming out with Spark, still developing that application, but worth checking. Get Stencil is one of the easiest ones to and quickest ones to get images and ads. And then Relay that allows you to do one image, resize it, use one for Facebook, one for YouTube, so you get the same image with the brand consistency across multiple ad formats. Of course, that when it comes to a point where you're doing posts and you're doing ads, you will want good images for that. So that's where image banks come in. So image banks are a resource where you can find graphics, icons, and photos. So FreePic has graphics, Flat Icon has icons, and Unsplash, they have good photography, and they're going to create a nice visual effect for your ads. Then what is going to happen is you're either already have clients in your customer base, or you're going to do marketing strategies that are going to get you clients. Either way, those clients eventually will want to talk to you about renewals, about filing a claim. You know that it never ends at the sale. So if they reach you through text or they call you, that becomes an interruption on your schedule, and that could put you off the track, and it will be hard for you to organize what you have to do. So at some point, you will need to consider customer care capabilities, and if you do one, if you implement a customer care tool, it's actually going to increase your authority with potential new clients. They're going to see how easy it is for them to communicate with you. So Help Scout allows you to create a knowledge base, and also allows clients to open tickets with you. So you can have forms and with mandatory fields that clients can go and fill that information. It opens a ticket with a ticket ID, so you can track SLA, service level agreements. You can know when a request has expired. A very good tool. And then Talk.to is a chat application. So again, you can have customers, instead of texting you, they can go and be self-served in a chat with either live agents or automation. Well, if you want to generate leads on social media or on the web, you will need paid traffic. There's no reliable way to use organic traffic. So make sure that you go to Facebook Business Manager, you set your account there, and then with Google Ads. With Facebook Business Manager, that's where you're going to be creating Instagram and Facebook posts and promoting them and doing advertising. With Google Ads, that's where you're going to be doing ads for paid search, for YouTube, and for display, which is displaying your ad into newspapers, blogs that sell advertising space to Google, and Google resells them to you. Now, the beauty behind digital marketing is that everything can be tracked. Every dollar that you invest in digital marketing can be tracked to a commission from a policy that you sold. In order to do that, you need a data analysis tool. And Google Analytics is the one that I recommend. It's free from Google, easy to install, easy to track. So worth installing in your site, in your landing page. And once you install, it starts gathering all that information that you're going to be turning into business intelligence. Google Analytics, definitely worth installing in your site. With the next one is the CRM, Customer Relationship Manager. The thing is, you're going to be getting lots of leads, and the volume is only going to grow as you add more strategies to your digital marketing ecosystem. And you cannot track that using spreadsheets. There are many brokers that use Excel or Google Sheets to track leads, but in reality, you need a customer relationship management system. And even for clients that you have already sold to, if you have a CRM, it's a lot easier to upsell, cross-sell, make more offers to them. So I cannot stress the importance of having a CRM since the start of your business. So make sure that you have one right now. The one I recommend is HubSpot. It's free. It has a very big limit on the free tier. Easy to install, easy to use. And I like to say that using a CRM is like jumping into cold water. You just have to close your eyes and do it. So do it. Force yourself to add notes, to maintain customer records updated. It is going to be worth. Trust me on this one. The HubSpot is the one we use here. We forced ourselves to use it. So get your CRM in place. Record everything. If you have a client that requested a proposal, didn't close, you will have that record there, and that is going to open plenty of new opportunities for you. Okay, so as you saw, the logic here is it doesn't make sense for you to have a CRM if you don't have a domain. So start from the domain, work your way down until you get to the CRM portion. You can do everything that I said here easily within one day. Literally, you can, even if you go to the WordPress and you create your website, you can do that within one day. Just commit to doing it. You go back, if you want to go back to the video, start creating your accounts, start adjusting, start using it. There's no way, no better way for you to learn how to use than just creating an account and using it. So do it, and once you do that, imagine that this is going to be your tool belt. And then you will be able to grab a tool from your tool belt based on the strategy that you want to implement. And that is where both things come together. You have tools and you have strategies. Once you have those two things fine-tuned and working, that's the point where you're going to be constantly writing a new policy every day. That's it. It is inevitable. You will do it. And then, so in this episode, you have all of the tools. And then the strategies, you can get the strategies here in this YouTube channel. So make sure that you subscribe and click the bell button so you get notifications when new strategies are posted. I also recommend that you go to Instagram and follow us there, because that's where it's a lot easier for you to reach, ask questions, ask for advice. And then we have a Telegram channel, and Telegram is a messaging application. So digital marketing happens very fast, things change. So at our Telegram channel, you can find the latest and greatest tips on digital marketing. So make sure that you join that as well. All of the links to do that are in the description for this video. I hope you liked. If you did, hit the like button again if you did not in the beginning of this episode, and I'll see you next time in our next episode. Bye-bye.